How's everybody doing? I just wanted to have a real quick conversation, I guess, with myself regarding discomfort and learning to embrace it. Right. So I think I had a realization today. When you look at the way life goes, whether it's going great or going horrible or whatever the case may be, which life is always great. Whatever the case may be, you have two options throughout the day, all day long. You can either embrace the things that you're dealing with, or you can choose to not embrace them. And when you choose to not embrace the things that you're dealing with, whether they're uncomfortable or not, when you choose to not embrace them, what you're doing is you're fighting against them, right? You're trying to embrace the latter, or you're simply just discontent with the fact that you're dealing with whatever it is you're dealing with, right? So, or you have the option to embrace it, right? And when you choose to embrace something, what you're really choosing to do is you're choosing to benefit from it as much as you possibly can, even if it seems like it's something that can't be benefited from. That's what choosing to embrace something means, in my opinion. So, and we're faced with it all the time. Whether you're sitting in traffic, you can choose to get frustrated and get pissed off and like, man, I need to get to work, or whatever the case may be. Or you can look at it as an opportunity to listen to your favorite audiobook, or listen to your favorite TED Talk, or listen to your favorite music, or make a video, right? A vlog in this case. And that's you choosing to embrace it as opposed to not embracing it. And this is a phenomenon that's become very apparent to me in my entire Marine Corps career. And I think I learned this morning. I woke up this morning and I was about to I woke up this morning at 5 o'clock. Normally I wake up a little bit earlier, but I woke up at 5 o'clock, and I had to take my wife and I, we have 3 dogs. One of them's a puggle. His name is Bruno. He's the OG of the household. And he was having a lot of like stomach issues, right? So I had to take him outside, whatever. And it was cold. It was really cold outside. So my first thought after I took him outside was, hey, you could go back to bed. Like, just go back, lay down. It's nice and warm under the covers in bed, right? And then I had a second thought. The second thought was go for a run. Go for a run. Like you used to. I used to, early on in my Marine Corps career, I think before the depot really, whenever I was in Hawaii, I spent a lot of time like finding ways to make myself uncomfortable to see what I could deal with, like see what I could handle as a man, like physically uncomfortable, whether that been in the gym or long runs or whatever the case. And I hadn't had thoughts like that in a while, like, okay, how can I make myself uncomfortable and grow today? Nonetheless, the thought came up like, hey, go for a run. It's cold. It was like 50 degrees. It wasn't even that cold. But the thought came up like, hey, just go for a run and see how it feels. So I made the decision to go for a run. After I brought Bruno back inside, whatever, and went for a run. I made sure to run shirtless. I made sure to make it as uncomfortable as I could. And it was only about 1.5 miles. Not even that, maybe just a mile. But whichever way, right? During that entire run, I kept saying to myself, like, okay, just go back. Like, this is stupid. It's too cold for this, I just had all these thoughts, like, just stop. But I'll tell you why I didn't, though. Why I decided to keep going. And it had nothing to do with being hard. It had nothing to do with anything other than the fact that I realized that I could either embrace this moment. I'm already out here in the cold. I could either embrace it, or I could just fight against it. And through that experience, it was about a 20-minute experience I had being in the cold. I realized that we have to subject ourselves to discomfort as human beings you don't grow and you don't adapt and you don't change and you don't make progress without discomfort. It's an inevitable factor. I'm quite certain of it. And you could say that about relationships. You could say that about just life in general. But and the easiest thing to relate it to is physical discomfort, because when you have physical discomfort, you have to push through it mentally and physically, right? So I think it's important for us. I think it's extremely important. Actually, I wouldn't even use the word important. It's pertinent. It's required of us as human beings that if we're going to grow, if we're going to remain sharp, right? If our edges are going to remain sharp, they have to be sharpened by discomfort. They have to be put through the grudges of discomfort. So I just want to put that out there. It was just an interesting experience I had this morning. And a lot of the people out there, there's a lot of people out there, I can't remember specific names off the top of my head, but like you could call them influencers on YouTube or whatever, but they like to subject themselves to the cold. And I understood it for a little bit. I understood it a little bit, like why they were using the cold. And I, when you actually subject yourself to it, you realize real quick that there are two things in life that'll really force you to measure up to yourself or rise to the occasion, and that's water and that's the cold. Those two things will really put you in a position where you gotta dig deep, right? So I'm gonna continue to do that. I think I'm gonna make sure to go for a run every morning that is cold for sure, and it better be cold. But I just want to throw that out there for the masses to listen to, and hopefully you gain something from it. Have a good day.